Is Trump siding with Elon Musk on the H-1-B visas? Let's find out. First, we're going to start with WION News, and then we're going to go over to Fox News.
In other news, as Donald Trump gets ready to take oath as the 47th president of the U.S., the president-elect has backed tech billionaire Elon Musk on the special visa program that would enable highly skilled workers to enter the country. In an exclusive with the New York Post, Trump said that he has always liked the H1-B visas and has been in favor of them. Trump's comments comes just days.
He was talking a little bit different on the campaign trail.
After Tesla owner Elon Musk said in a post on his social media platform X that bringing top engineering talent from abroad is essential for America to keep winning.
So why not build better schools here? I mean, I know that it takes a little bit longer, but I mean, if we're just bringing people in every year, in 5 years, we could have a whole bunch of engineers that start today or whatever, right? And then over time, over 10, 20, 30 years, we could have as smarter people as you want. Mr. Tesla, Mr. $250 billion, or even more, supposed to be the first trillionaire ever. Build some schools, homie. Build some schools, please.
Musk's post sparked a debate between the tech billionaire and other anti-immigration Trump backers on X. With the former vowing to go to war over the issue, the post angered several conservatives backing Trump as well. Some of them, they have been a part of Trump's Make America Great Again. The MAGA campaign said that they are eagerly waiting for the inevitable divorce between Trump and Elon Musk.
Eagerly.
Furthermore, Trump's strategist Steve Bannon called migrants under the H1-B program as indentured servants. He also critiqued the Tesla CEO as a toddler. Trump backing Musk on the special visa program comes in sharp contrast to his election mandate. During his campaign, Trump promised to impose curbs on immigration and vowed to deport illegal immigrants, all of which played an important role in his victory during the U.S. poll.
That's a little bit off-putting. He wants to deport illegal immigrants and talk about they're taking American jobs. But then he wants to bring in more smart immigrants, right? This H1B visas for the engineers, the doctors, the smart people, right? Aren't those American jobs? He's sending away the migrants he don't like and then saying that those lower earning jobs or those not as smart jobs or whatever are for Americans? Is that what's happening? Because we need to bring in the smart people from other places. Are we not smart enough if just fix our schools? Are we not smart enough if you just fix our schools?
Polls.
Well, yesterday, you guys know we had quite a few discussions on the debate that's raging online right now about H-1B visas. And Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, coming out saying, hey, we need this. Our country needs this. Our companies need this. We need this to have this technological advantage over China and other countries. And other people saying, I'm not so sure. A lot of those H-1B visas are for coding, and they're sort of the grunt work of the tech industry. And there's a lot of Americans who would like those jobs, and we should be working on training them instead of replacing them with foreign workers who presumably will do it for cheaper. So that's the debate that's raging. And in the midst of that, someone has found a quote from Donald Trump where he says he backs H-1B visas. Now, that would be contradictory to what he has said in the past, we'll have to get to the bottom of that. But here's what he said on this. He said, the New York Post reported on Saturday, he said, I've always liked the visas. I've always been in favor of the visas. That's why we have them. I have many H-1B visas.
I went on a rant and I think my thing was off. So, but what I'm saying is, if they're so smart and we're so stupid, why have them come and do the job and just have us be done bumping around? Why not have them come and teach us how to do the job so that we could be smarter in the next 5, 10, 20 years, right? Have them all come in and teach rather than just do the job and do it for us. Teach a man to fish, right?
Yes, he said, the New York Post reported on Saturday, he said, I've always liked the visas. I've always been in favor of the visas. That's why we have them. I have many H-1B visas on my properties. I've been a believer in H-1B. I've used it many times. It's a great program.
Fantastic program.
This is I think, as we talked about yesterday, such an important debate. It's happening entirely among Republicans and within Trump world. And obviously, what he is talking about here is the fact that, he's obviously defending the program. But what I also think is sort of interesting is that he put into place in his first term a lot of, restrictions that protected the program, that reformed the program. And, of course, one of the first things Joe Biden did, including opening the border wide open to let lots and lots of unskilled labor into the country that we have no control over, also removed a lot of those reforms to the H-1B visa program so that it was open to widespread.
It's so silly. But Trump wants to buy Mexico or make Mexico part of America. That'll just pretty much end. The border's gone, then it's way down there. Everybody in Mexico is already now in the United States. Do it, let's go.
Abuse.
And in fact, that's what Stephen Miller tweeted back in 2023, talking about the first Trump term and his position on H-1B visas. He said Biden axed Trump admin H-1B reforms, which eliminated its use for cheap labor, raised wages to stop displacement, outlawed substitution, and replaced H-1B lotteries with high-paying offers, which precluded substitutions. Regs were scrapped, and now big tech is replacing Americans. So Trump weighs in yesterday suggesting he supports H-1B visas. Now, in the past, he has looked for reforms to H-1B visas. On the surface, this issue, I don't think, has as deep a divide on the right as one might initially perceive. Meaning, I think a lot of people on the right, including obviously Donald Trump and then Elon Musk, support the idea of bringing in whatever percentage it may be, 0.01%, whatever the number is, of highly, highly skilled people from across the world. The idea of bring your best. But the program can't be abused to box American workers out. That's been the perspective in the past of Donald Trump. And I suspect it will be the position of Donald Trump in the future. But the debate got deeper and it got more contentious on the cultural level. And for example, that's where I took some exception to what I thought Vivek Ramaswamy made a too sweeping indictment of American culture. Elon, by the way, weighed in immediately after Trump.
Pretty soundly, by the way.
Pretty soundly. Well, Elon, this is a quote from Tropic Thunder. He's memeing. Remember Tropic Thunder with
I don't know,
Robert Downey Jr.?
Can we actually read the entire?
I don't know if we can do it, but let's try.
Let's try. Okay, where is it?
Let's do it. This is what Elon put on X. He said, the reason I'm in America, along with so many critical people who built SpaceX, Tesla, and hundreds of other companies that made America strong, is because of H-1B. Go ahead, Charlie. You can quote Tropic Thunder.
You can take a big step back and have fun with yourself in the face.
Yes. So that's what he said. He obviously feels very strongly about it. Listen, I want to get into the cultural stuff, but before that, remember, the context about a lot of people were upset about the H-1B visas were that famous story of Disney. Do you guys remember that? Where Disney was going to lay off these workers. These were some sort of software workers. And then they said, listen, we're going to lay you off and you will not get your severance unless you train the people that come in. These were, foreign workers on this type of visa. And so that really upset a lot of Americans. And I believe that was the context around the conversation about abuses. And lots of people are weighing in on both sides of this. Obviously, Vivek and Elon very strongly on the side of getting more H-1B visas, saying that we won't be competitive. The cultural side, I think, is fascinating, Will. And Charlie, I guess Vivek saying he thinks that we need to our culture has a problem with, not prizing enough those who are valedictorians and academically, succeeding versus those who are the prom queens and the quarterbacks, I guess.
I can agree with Vivek on this a bit. Raising my kids, I wouldn't let them watch SpongeBob SquarePants. I told them they were not allowed to watch anything that was going to make them stupider or dumber. That's not okay. My younger daughter, she would watch stuff like Sid the Science Kid, Octonauts, Dinosaur Train, all stuff that teaches you a lot of stuff. And I've actually learned a lot of stuff from watching those with her. And so you do learn what you watch, right? You might be more funny if you watch a lot of comedies. You might be more serious if you watch a lot of science shows or those cop shows or something like that, or stuff like that. But you do need to pay attention to what your kids do. And you need to, like, if you go to the park with your kids, I used to run and play tag with all the kids. I'd chase my kid and the other kids joined in, whatever. We all played and stuff. And parents would look at me like I was crazy. But my kid was very strong and I ran with her all the time. And you participate with your kid. The more you participate with your kid, the better off they're going to be, no matter what, or the more like you they're going to be, or the more like that you want them to be, they're going to be, whether that's good or bad. If you want them to be a criminal, right? You start at the beginning, you teach them to be a criminal. You want them to be a criminal stopper, you start at the beginning and teach them to be a criminal stopper. But either way, it is true. If you're just sitting there watching silly stuff, you're just going to be a silly person. And we do boast the prom king and the quarterback and the football players. I think it's insane that our athletes make so much money. I always say, and I'm pretty sure I've said in a few videos, that I think teachers should be the highest paid profession. Teachers teach everybody how to do what they're doing, and then without a teacher, you couldn't do what you're doing. Even if you're a doctor, you had to be taught by somebody, no matter how smart you are, right? So I think teachers should be the highest paid profession. They should be highly admired, and it should be harder to be a teacher than it is because it should be a highly prized profession.
Yes.
What I think they kind of wandered into, and neither Vivek nor Elon Musk, I think, appreciate sort of the nuances and just how what a sore spot this is for a lot of Americans, because of course it wasn't just Disney. You could go through, right. In every industry going back 30 years and find examples of where American workers were forced to train their replacements.
I was just about to say that after I said I covered that yesterday. I don't think it was Disney. It was I think they were talking about something else where the guy had to stay and they had to train their new people or they wouldn't get their severance package.
As they unbolt their machinery and send it to China. One thing
the right to first refusal, we should have that in America. That means if a company wants to shut down, if a car factory or any kind of warehouse wants to shut down, they have to offer to sell it to the employees first before they can shut it down. And the employees have the right to the first refusal of the business. And if the employees say they want to buy it, what the government will do is buy it for the employees, pay the owners of the factory or whatever it was. The government will pay that, and then employees will pay the government back at a certain steady rate or whatever while still making money. So that way they don't lose their jobs, and the owners can still sell it to somebody. It'll just happen to be the employees rather than selling it to somebody else or leaving. Or you could just stay there, keep it operating, and make money.
I have to say, though, that I think is interesting. I've known Steve Miller since back when he was on Capitol Hill working for
Sessions.
For Jeff Sessions. And he's always been one of the smartest people and most devoted to reforming immigration. And there are few people that I know who know more about this and care more about it, which, of course, is why Trump values him so much. Right. And if there's a guy that understands where that line is between valuing the best of the best, the cream of the crop from other places, and finding a way to use them in America, versus just looking for cheap labor, right. Because all of it is kind of geared towards looking for cheaper labor.
Capitalism.
And
Charlie, nobody's against importing another Elon Musk.
Right.
We'll take more of those.
Right.
However, if there are Americans who can do the job, let's have them.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley.
So I like immigration. I'm mixed. My dad's black. My mom is white. I got a little Native American in me. I live in Hawaii. There's more Asian people here than anybody else. Like, the Asian just are the, what do you call it? Not the mass, but the majority. and there's just all kinds of people here. They all look different, and there is no one majority. If you take by what you would call race, like Japanese, Chinese, if you break down the Asian into the different populations, there's no majority. If you just break it into whatever, I think they say Asians are the majority. But still, it's wonderful to be here, and no one cares about race. Like, they talk about it a little bit, and like, I know Chuukese people, I know Micronesian people, Samoan people, I met Russian people, Chinese people. I know people from all around the world that speak all kinds of languages, right? I used to live in Waikiki, and one of the things I used to say is I love it. I can just walk down the street. I could walk down the strip in Waikiki, and it's like traveling the world. I would hear 10, 15 different languages, see people from all over the world. I could just talk to people about anything. Oh, where are you from? And they would Bangladesh or Brazil or Japan, all kinds of places, and just they talked to me. It was cool. So I don't know. I like people. I like to see different types of people. I don't think it's bad. I think it's cool. But keep getting your information from across the spectrum.